Good morning, this is Oliver coming to you from Youghal by the sea in Ireland over here in Europe, and I've got another Sudoku puzzle for you this morning. This time is from TheGuardian and it's an easy one, ideal for beginners. And this is it here now. It's fairly straightforward. I'm using Sven's Sudoku pad again, which I think is a very good piece of software for people who are novices or beginners, because it is easy to get the first part of it right. That's the part where you're looking for your singles and buried singles and things like that. So let's get at it. Now it's just you click on a number, and then when you double click on a number, and it'll show you everywhere that number exists. So for example, the number of 1, we can then just drag and drop, or just drag I mean, and you see the way we're losing it every time we drag. If you go down here and turn that to the black, so it's nice and black, that means it's going to be cumulative. So this one, these are the ones here. This one can be seen there. So there's too many. We're only looking for houses, and by a house is a 9-cell area like this is a house. Any house where there's just one occurrence or 2 occurrences at the most. Well, there's 4 free slots here, so that's no good. Over here there's 4 free slots, no good. If we come over here though, that one and this one means here are 2 candidates. We can put our candidates in there. So these 2 options here are your pencil marks, and it's either going to be out in the peripheral or in the corners, or it'll be in the center. At this stage I prefer to go to the corners, so we're going to put in a 1 and I'll go into each one of those. Now if we just double click our 1 again, see is there anything else we can guess. So we've got this one done. This comes down from the top, that comes down from the bottom, but there's still too many. Right, that is the end of the number 1s. Number 2s, we'll try and go through this quickly. Again, won't work here. Over here, and that, nothing at all there. Down here we have those 2, nothing. Here we have these 2, so we should be able to get our 2s in there. 3s. House by house, again, you won't get anything there, won't get anything here. That won't do anything for us. Now that won't do because we get that cleared and this clear, and down here we will, because it can't be there, the tree can't be there, so it can be here or here. 4s, well, we can intersect here, which doesn't do anything for us, and the other place we'll intersect is down here. So that gives us our place now for 4s. 5s, well, we'll intersect there and there, but we're not getting anything out of that. We'll intersect here, here, and here. So our 2 5s are going to be down here. Do it again. There and here, which means we now got our first big number, and this is the button we use to switch to big number notation. So we're putting a 5 in there. Now we'll see where we are. 1 2 3, so that vertical run of houses is okay. This one now has 3 5s intersecting on it, so we're going to get a 5 here. Big number again, 5. We've got that intersection, that one, and this one, so we now have at long last something into that empty one up there, which is nice. And this is just this very straightforward iterative process. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought there for a moment. We're doing this house, so nothing in that house. This house here is done, that's done, that. This is the only house left. We've got 2 5s in there, no change. On to 6s. So we intersect here, giving us 2 6s. There are the corner 6s. We'll also intersect here, wrong one, there and there, which doesn't do much for us. That's all we can do. And 7s, Well, this house needs 7s, so not there, not there, not there. So this is where our 7s go. And this is where you'll see how important it is to be putting in the pairs as well. So the 7 goes in there. And that means the 4 must go in here, because the 4 we had decided had to be in one of these 2 cells. So we now know where the 4 goes. So we'll continue with the 7s. So up here at the top, we have 2 places there for 7. Those 3 are done. Those 3 are done. Up here at the top, can't be there or there, so it must be over here. On this one, can't be there, can't be there. That leaves us 3, which is too much, so not that one. And we've this one done. So that's all the 7s done. 8. Intersection there and there doesn't help us. Intersection there and from the bottom doesn't help us here. This 8 will go in both of these directions, with the other one coming down. So we start with this one. We can get 2 in here. And we can also get 2 here. So that's correct. That was there. This one over here, with the 8 coming across, that's correct. What about down here? And this 8 comes across here, so it doesn't help us here. But this 8 coming down gives us 2 possibilities here for an 8. Now some of you might think this is a waste of time. It's not. Doing this and doing it consistently and accurately, and I have to admit I'm not often very accurate, and that is a problem. But if you can manage to do it, take your time and do it and get it right, it really helps you later on. And the only reason I'm doing it this way is because this is a lot more graphical, and when you're starting off, it helps you not make as many mistakes as you could. Okay, so we're just saying, like, for example, this 9, the effect it has on this house. Well, it means you can't have a 9 here. This one, you can't have a 9 here, and similarly. So we ended up with their possible 2 9s here. Now that was our first run through with all the numbers. So what we normally do then is just do a quick run through it again, because some things have changed. We have these extra ones in. So having a quick look then at the ones. No real change up there. And well, the 1 has to go here or here. Can't go anywhere else because it's not already in there. That's straightforward enough. So we'll put that in. No changes up at the top. In fact, there's no changes at all anywhere. Oh, except I missed this the first time. Should have had 2 2s up there at the top. So I'll stick those in now. It's very easy to miss things, and I have to admit I'm always missing. Next in line are the 3s, and I think the only place there'll be a change is because of this 5 here. We should now be able to get, yes, we can get 2 3s in here now. Just getting small changes. Next one in line are the 4s. Now we've had an extra 4 in. I don't know if I checked that properly. Look, there you go. That goes down there, that goes down there. So I'm going to get another 4 in here. I missed that the first time. Went too fast, as I often do. But that's the only change. We have these 3. That won't do it. Oh, 4 coming across here does have a big effect on this one. Right, so we now know that the 4 has to go in here. And if that is a 4, then this one has to be a 1. That was a big change. So we better go back and do the 1s again. And the only place this is going to have an effect is over here. So we now have a place for 2 1s here. I'm going to pencil mark and put the 1s in there. And we'll check it again. So the 1. We have this one here now, and that one, and this one. So we got another 2 ones here. Right, we're getting a few more bits and pieces into it. This iterative process of just going around, it makes a lot of sense. And we'll just check the 2s again. Nothing changed. Oh, hold on, I had a mistake there. That 2, there shouldn't be a 2 here. Let's get rid of that. That was a big mistake. Right, so we can't have a 2 there, can't have a 2 there or here. So the 2 has to be over here. That's an important one now, because if that's a 2, then this one down here has to be the 1. So that brings us back to checking the 1s again. And now we have here and here. So the 1s go up here. As I said before, I'm not the best to be showing these things because I keep on making mistakes. Wrong there. So it's that one. I think exactly the same as before. There's no change there. We've got our 2 ones here. That one goes over there. That's over there. And this one. So we get our 2 ones here. So I think we've got 1s in every. That's the only one we don't have. A 1 in. It's the only house. But that's okay. On to number 2s. Just see if there's any change there. Well, the most likely place will be as a result of this one. So there we go. There we go. And we have 2 coming across. So yes, we can have 2 2s up here now. And that's the only change on the 2. Right. Well, there's been no change on the 3s, so we leave that one and go on to the 4s. Might be a change there now. Well, if we just look at where the blues are, so this one comes across here. We also have this coming across and this one coming up. So we now have yet another 4 to stick in. I think we'll get all the 4s now in a second. So that 4 went in where there was a 1, which means we now have another 1 to go back in there, which means we're going to have to go back and do our 1s in a minute. But we'll keep on with the 4s first. So that goes up. That goes up, and we have the 4 coming across, giving us our pair of 4s here. I said before, great doing these pairs, because as we get uniques, we'll find that the pairs hit as well. 4. Well, this house, we still only have the 1 intersecting, so nothing there. On the 5. Oh no, we won't. We'll go back to 1. Let's just make sure we have it right. Well, the 2 houses it'll affect is this one. So we still have nothing there, and this one down here, and that's still the same as before. So no change there on the 1s. So on 2. No, there's no change on 5s, 6s. Well, yes, because we've got a 6 coming up here, 6 going across here. We now have a place for 6 in here. So let's stuff that in. That's all we can do for 6s, 7s. Still no change there. 8s. What can that have to do? No, I can't see any change there. And 9s. Let's hope that does something. No, there doesn't seem to be any change there on the 9s either. Okay, so we've done the singles and the hidden singles. Now, what's the next strategy? Normally the next thing we do is we look around at all the different houses, rows and columns, and see, are they nearly finished, and can we finish them off? And this row is an obvious one. There's only 1 missing, and it's even telling us here it has to be an 8, so grand. Let's put the 8 in there, and that means we get rid of the 8 here. Now we have now what's known as a pair, a 3-6 and a 3-6, and I just traditionally put those green. Now if that's a 3-6 and a 3-6, it means that the 3 is either here, or the 6 is either here or here, but it can't be anywhere else. And we have 2 more left down here, which means they also must be a pair, and in fact they must be an 8-9 pair. And now you then look at that and you see, well, is there any reason why either one of those is wrong? Well, that can be an 8. This one here can't be an 8. So that one has to be a 9. And if that's a 9, then the other one must be the 8. And having done that, we've only got one left here, and that can't be 1, 2, 3, 4. It has to be 6. So at this stage, we've more or less done the central houses, and we can start looking out now into the peripheral and see what else can we do out there. Now, the other one we can look at is, sorry, this column here, because there's just one missing from there, and what's missing from there is the number 9. What I normally do next, and this is not to everybody's cup of tea, but what I do next is find out, okay, up to, this one's got 3 empty cells, and I'll just try and put into those 3 cells what are the different possibilities that can go in there. And what's missing in this house are the numbers, and I put these now in the center, not at the edges. So I put these as, well, it's missing 3, 5 and 6. And then I work out, well, where can things not be? For example, over here we already have a 3, so I can get rid of the 3 there. And this one here, there's a 5 there, so let's get rid of the 5 there. So unfortunately that's a triple of 3, 5, 6, using 3, 6, 5, 6 and 3, 5, 6. I was hoping to get something better than that. Alright, so that did not work out the way that I'd hoped. Let me think again. Now I'm just looking at where different numbers can go in each one of these. I'm going column wise at this stage. Don't know why I'm going columns. I just find them easier to read maybe at the moment. I'm going to go over here because I've already looked at that one. I'm doing this a different way. The ones, where can one go on this one? Well, I can't go on the top. It can go here. So one can only go in 2 different places, there and there. So let's start with the 1. 2s, we already have a 2 up here. 3s, well, a 3 can go in here. It can go in here. Can't go there and go there. So there's 3 places for 3s. Okay. 4s, we already have a 4. 5, we already have a 5. 6 could be an interesting one. Well, it can't go in here, can it? No, should we have a 6 here? So it can't be a 6 there. It can't be, well, this is going to be there, there or there. And 6 could go here or here. So we'll stick a 6 in there. Just trying this as another way of doing things, see if it does anything for us. 7, well, 7 can't go down here. And 7 we've already decided is going to be there or there. So that's our 7s. 8 we have. 9 can't go here. This is looking good. So 9 goes in there. And there and there. There we go. So we found that the 3 has to go here. By a process of elimination. But that's an important one. Because now we can get rid of 3s in these places. In the let's take that one out. In the centers we can get rid of 3s. And this one not having a 3 is going to be a 6. And that being a 6 makes this one a 3. Now that being a 6 means that we can't have 6s here. So it's working out nicely despite ourselves. Now what I'm noticing here is we have a 7-9 and a 1-7-9. It'd be nice to get rid of that 1, and the easiest way to get rid of that 1 is to make this into a 1 if it was possible. It might not be possible, so I think we'll just stick in what are our possibilities here. So for example, this one here, the only possibles that will fit in there, if I'm not mistaken, are 1 and 8. And here it's actually 2 and 9, can't be anything else. And this one here can't be anything else, it can only be 2, so that has to be a 2. Lovely. Well, if that's a 2, then this one has to be a 9. and this doesn't make sense. This one here has to be a 1 because that's a 9. So that has to be a 1. Great. If that's a 1, then that's an 8. And if that's a 1, then this is not a 1, and we have a 7-9 pair there, which is as good as getting it sorted. Great. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cells here, more or less sorted. Now this one looks as if it has too many cells, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but we have an 8 here, which means this one here can't be an 8. That's why these pencil marks are so important, which means this one up here must be an 8. And that being an 8, I would be curious what could have gone in here instead of the 8 that was there. So what are our options here? It can't be 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me think about that. I don't think, no, 2 5s there. Can't be a 5. Can't be a 6. Can't be 7. Can't be 8. That can only be a 9. Right. Because of the 2 5s here, we couldn't put a 5 in here. So I'm saying now, more out of curiosity than anything else, I am curious as to what goes in here, and are we going to be lucky? This is going to be a triple more than likely. Well, it is 3 cells, and the 3 that can go in there at the moment are, I find this the quickest way to do it, 2, 3 and 4 are missing on that row. And if we look at this one, it'll have to be the 2 we have to take out because we have a 2 there. The next one, the 4, so we take out the 4, and the next one is the 3. I find I do less mistakes if I start with the row, fill them in, and then just check the columns to see what I have to take out. And in that case, we might as well check this one as well since we're here, and that is going to be... well, it's 3, 5, 6, 5, 6, so it's going to be either a 3 or 5 or 6, and it's going to be a 3. Right, stick the 3 in there. That's, sorry, it's a 3, 6. Okay, our next one is, I almost hadn't noticed it, this only's got 1 left to be put in, and if I'm not mistaken, that is the number 6. So we stick the 6 in there. We have a triple here then next. And that triple is 1, 3, 4. And this is, we take the 1 out. This one we will take the 4 out. And this one, is it 1, 3, 4? No, the 3 comes out. Yeah, simple little triple. I was too quick to come out of here. Look at this, there's only the 1 6 in here. That one there has to be a 6. And if that's a 6, then we get rid of the 6s there and center, which gives us a 5. Would have been a long time looking for that now. And that 5 gets rid of the 5 here, which means that is a 3. And if that's a 3, then this is a 6. So yet another house finished. Hallelujah once again, leaving a pair up here at the top. And that pair is going to be a 6, 7. No, I think I jumped the gun there. It's not a 6, 7. Get those off. That is wrong. 7 can be in both of them, all right. But we have a 6 here, so it's not 6, 7. It is 5, isn't it? Yes, 5, 7, and we have a 5 here. Therefore, that one is a 7. That one is a 7, which means this one here must be the 5. That gives us something to go on. Good old triple again here, and the triple there is going to be based on 2, 6 and 8. That's what's missing here, 2, 6 and 8. Now going this way, we don't have a 2, 6 or 8. Going this way, we have a 2 and a 6. Therefore, that one must be the 8. Lovely. And this one then must be a 2 or a 6. Get rid of the 8. And this one we get rid of the 8 as well. Of course, it's going to be a 2, 6 pair there. Now, we're just left with this big little beastie in here. What can we do with this one? Well, for starters, we can get rid of this 5 here. And if we're getting rid of that 5, that can only mean that this one up here is the 5. That gives us a start. Now we have our first item inside in that house. Now the way to look upon it next is we have most items in this row and same number in both of these. So we got one there. Let's try this one here beside it and see what can go in there. Well, we know it can't be a 1, can't be a 2, can it be a 3? Well, 3 is one possibility. 3 can't be 4, can't be 5, can't be 6, can't be a 7, can't be an 8, can't be a 9, so that one must be a 3. Well, that was easy now, wasn't it? Not only was it easy, but it was also important, because if we look down here, it means this one must be the 2, this one must be the 4, and this one must be the 3. And that's now going to make it a little bit easier up here. So again, we pick on either of these two columns has got the least number of numbers in them. So we're going to have a pair of some sort here. And the two numbers missing this way are 2 and 8. And can we get rid of any of those? Well, there's an 8 here. So now we know this one has to be the 2. And if that's the 2, then this one here must be the 8. And they were quite important, the 2 and 8, because we can come back here now and finish this off. That's going to be a 6, and this is going to be the 2. So all we have is this little bit in here left to do. I pressed the wrong button there. These two, what can go in there? Well, the 2 that are missing there are 6 and 9. Right, and what is missing in these 3 next? Might as well just get them over and done with. What's wrong with me? Stop being so fast. The 6 here will give us the 9. And that 9 will give us this 6 up here. And that will make it a little bit easier to do these 3 now. Alright, the 3 of them there. What can go in there is 1, 4 and 7. And we can see that there is already a 1 and 7 there, which makes that one a 4. That was so straightforward, which makes this one a 1 and 7. Get rid of the 4. And the other one's exactly the same. Get rid of the 4. It's a 1 and 7. So we've got a 1 7 pair there. Now all we have to do is just finish off this lot over here. And it's actually quite straightforward. We have a 9 here, which means this one can't be a 7 9. That one must be the 7. Now if that's the 7, then this one must be the 9. We only have 1 left here. We already have a 4 there, which means that one must be the 3. And if that's the 3, that has to be the 1. And if that's the 1, that has to be the 4. And now we have the 7 here, making this one here the 1. And you know what? It doesn't take a genius to work out at this stage now that that one must be the 7. And it is. And all that's left us now is just clean it up a little bit and make it look nice and tidy. Now, if you're doing this using pen and paper, you then have to go back and make sure that you don't have any double of the same number in any house, row or column. But this software takes care of that. Now, while we're speaking of software, this Sudoku pad, I find it's great for people beginning because it's nice and graphical. But there's another one that I find an awful lot handier to use, and that's Duncan's Sudoku solver. It just has for me anyway, a much faster interface, and like it wouldn't have taken a half an hour to do it. Okay, well look, that's it. I'm going to keep on doing, as part of the project, a couple of gentle and easy Sudoku puzzles every week. So they're here in a playlist, and the playlist will be available on the end credit there. All right. Thank you for having a look at it. If you liked what you've seen, give me a thumbs up or subscribe, and sure, pop a couple of comments down below, will you? All right, Shin will, and thank you very much, and I'll see you again hopefully tomorrow. Slán tamil.